Welcome to the Disney Hour Express podcast. I'm Abby.
And I'm Rob. We are two hopelessly romantic Disney enthusiasts.
Sharing fun stories, secret tips, and family travel experiences.
If you are a Disney newbie, or maybe a season pass holder, we hope you find this information helpful.
We turned our love of Disney into a unique boutique travel agency that books Disney and Universal vacations.
We've got a lot of stories, so cozy on up, choose your favorite drink,
whether that be a cocktail or a hot chocolate,
and enjoy the Disney Hour Express. Welcome to episode 73. I said tree because we're talking about animals that are going to climb into a tree on this week's, I guess they could climb into a tree. I don't know where I'm going with that. It was off the cuff.
Oh, boy.
This is the Disney Hour Express.
See what happens when I let them intro, guys.
Well, if you heard what happened to our count-ins, if you would have known, it ended up with us both giving each other, showing each other what our rank is in each other's eyes. We were letting each other know.
With love and compassion.
Married life.
Welcome to the Disney Hour Express. We're so excited to have you here.
Yes. Welcome, all you podcats.
Oh, no,
Podlions.
No. Podlions. Ooh, I actually like that. Podlions.
It's Pride of Lions.
Well, you know.
Lion Pride.
Got it. We're talking about The Lion King today a little bit because it turns 30. Can you believe that?
I can.
You can. I can't.
But
that seems crazy.
What I can't do, what I just can't do is I just can't wait to be 30.
Oh, no. Okay. So, yeah, The Lion King, amazing, directed by Roger Allers and Rob Minkoff, right? It was produced by Walt Disney. It was a feature animation and it premiered on June 15th in 1994 and was released to the rest of the theaters June 24th of 1994. So all the way back in 1994. That's nuts. I was thinking about that time frame and I was like, when I went to a lot of sleepaway summer camps when I was that age, and we would we'd get into a van and listen to all the popular music on our way to go see The Lion King. We saw it multiple times. It's so funny. And so some of the winners that were on the radio were Boyz II Men, I'll Make Love to You. Yep. Can you imagine a whole bunch of 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds singing this in a van?
Unfortunately, I can, being that our kids listen to our Olivia Rodrigo. I guess. I'm so obsessed with your ex. And I'm like, okay, I really need to hear my 7-year-old.
Different than I'll make love to you.
But then she's like, she slept on the side of the bed.
Oh my gosh.
So
I don't know.
Okay.
And then the other one is All for One. I swear. That was a big one. But then Lisa Loeb's I Missed You came out this time. Okay. It's like that was like rock and radio for sure. So I'm just picturing myself listening to all these songs on the way to go see this animated classic by Disney. It just
now was it
the 90s were weird, guys.
Now these van rides, were these before or after the masked killer showed up for the sleepaway camp? And
yeah, no Michael Myers here, right? Michael Myers. Nope, Jason Voorhees. Wait, which murder killer was that?
Boy.
Camp Crystal Lake. See, I got something.
Camp Crystal Lake.
Nope, we didn't have any of that, but it was definitely an interesting summer camp, I'm not going to lie.
All right.
But back to the movie. So worldwide, this movie grossed $763 million, and it finished its theatrical run as the highest grossing film of 1994. Second highest grossing film of all time behind Jurassic Park, which was in 1993. Now, what cool blockbuster summers they used to have. I mean, Jurassic Park and the summer before, and then this. That's pretty awesome.
No, it's true. I mean, and then if you look at it, it's kind of hard. Obviously, there's a nostalgia to it, right? The 30 years back. But if you look at it now, like, what's coming out this summer that's like that big? I mean, the Inside Out 2 maybe is going to be a big animated, but it's not like huge. I mean, there's a lot of Furiosa. There's a Bad Boys movie out now. I mean, obviously, I'm not sure what's coming out July 4th weekend. Usually that's a big weekend.
True. Yeah, we've got some more like adult films coming out. Not
Quiet
like
Place and such, which
big.
we'll talk more about a little bit.
But I think Inside Out 2 is like a big one for these kids. They're really excited.
I need to see Inside Out 1.
And I think because they delayed Moana to be more of a Thanksgiving release.
True.
So, So basically, if you are in the dark and don't know what the Lion King is about, it revolves around a pride of lions who oversee a large swath of African savanna as their kingdom, known as the Pride Lands, with their leader, Simba, watching over it as king. So this is kind of where Animal Kingdom itself kind of arrived from. Am I correct in saying that? Because we're looking at the African safari and the Lion King was a huge part of this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I don't know. Tell me what you think.
About the
What
safari?
was your experience seeing the Lion King?
I mean, I didn't see it in the theater. I didn't see it in a theater.
That's right, because you were in your teen years.
It was 1997.
You were like too cool to see.
I was 18 years old. And yeah. Again, every time we talk about this, it gets so weird.
Weirder and weirder.
But it's okay now that I'm old and you're still young. You're still young.
I wish I was still young.
But yeah, I mean, I was 18, so I wasn't going to see The Lion King.
What? I can't imagine why not.
I didn't have, my siblings were younger, but yeah, it just wasn't happening.
You weren't going to bring like your college date to see The Lion King.
I can't say, I don't remember when I actually saw it. Like, I don't remember. I must have just seen it on TV at some point.
All right.
That was that.
Now, have you seen The Lion King on Broadway?
I have not.
It is one of the most amazing things that I think I have ever seen in my life. And it's been 20 years at this point since I saw it on Broadway. Wow. So cool.
I've only seen the snippets from Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Titus was supposed to be in it, but yeah.
I mean, it won 6 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. So it was just a really, really good show. It's still going on. If you ever have time to catch the show and want to make a little trip to the city, I think this one's worth it. Mm-hmm. Now, the last show we saw was Aladdin. Mm-hmm. It was good, but it didn't beat the Lion King. I have to say, yeah, it was good, but I don't know. Yeah.
Aladdin was good. I mean, the genie was what killed it.
Phenomenal. He's so good. Mm. Yeah, but yeah, the Lion King was very good. And if you happen to go to the Disney, we highly recommend catching that Lion King show as well.
So, one thing that I did want to talk about, and since you kind of brought that up, is you're asking what is now. Here's a Disney movie that started in 1994, 30 years ago, right? So you figured all this, there's been additions, there's been all types of rides added to the Disney properties, Disneyland, Disney World. Is there a Lion King ride in the parks? If you haven't been to the parks and you're asking yourself, this sounds like now there was a live action remake that came out, right?
Yeah.
That did very well. It did well, made like $1.6 billion worldwide.
Yeah.
I think I forgot to look it up. I think they're developing like a second one somehow.
Oh, really?
A second live action one, which I was like, ugh. But obviously there's tons of money to be made. Mm-hmm. Is there a Lion King ride in the parks?
Nope.
There is not,
Isn't that
right?
strange? But I mean, you can consider the Savannah.
So So the things they bring up are in Kilimanjaro safaris. Mm-hmm. which is located in the Africa part of Animal Kingdom. And there is a safari bus called the Symbol One.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it is like you're going around, you're seeing lions, and that's kind of like, that's almost between the lion and the giraffes, and I think I think those are kind of like the highlights of the safari.
Right. Yeah,
for the most part, the elephants.
Yep, the elephants.
But yeah. No, what were you going to say?
Well, Rafiki's Planet Ranch.
Okay, see, she's going right along. She's leading right into my next part.
You know what, though? He doesn't share his notes with me, so I just have to guess.
It's true. I don't.
Anyways, Rafiki's Planet Ranch.
So, which is also located in Animal Kingdom.
Yes, it is. But you need to take a little train over there.
You do, and it's an area where you have opportunities, along with seeing live animals. And seeing how they're kept and taken care of, and conservation that goes into these animals. You also have an opportunity, especially right now, because they're bringing it back, to meet Timon and Rafiki. Character meet and greets, so you could actually meet them, because there's no other, you're not meeting Simba in the park, because obviously these animals that walk around on four legs, they can't simulate them to just be in the park and you have a talk with a lion or even Pumbaa, right? So being that Timon and Rafiki walk on two legs, they're the characters that you're going to meet.
Yeah.
So those are now, there was originally, did you ever see The Legend of the Lion King?
No.
Which was a stage performance that ran from 1994 to 2002 in Fantasyland at Magic Kingdom.
Oh. Nope. Didn't see that one.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Interesting. Was it did people love it?
I mean, I don't know that.
Did you see it?
I did not. 8 years.
Honestly.
8 years. Again, I was like in high school. I wouldn't have gone to that. Kidding me? But so then that obviously closed in 2002. And then we have the Festival of the Lion King. Okay. Which is the big show.
Is the big one.
Yeah. And that's an Animal Kingdom, and that's this amazing show that they put on. But it is very I don't know, the technology behind it is a little bit off, right? So there's a lot of Simba comes out and it's like this big animatronic lion, but it's not like the best looking thing in the world, but it works, and you have to, but then all the acrobatics and
and I think that's what they focus on more, is the acrobatics of that show,
and just the performances of the songs, and they have live singers, and they're all coming out and doing a great job.
Yeah, absolutely. It's phenomenal. We were blown away with it for sure.
So, but it just seems like now there's talks. There's been a lot, obviously there's a lot of possible expansion going on in Disney World. There's talks of it, $10 billion going into the parks. The only thing I could see online in any of my research is there's rumors of a Lion King flume ride.
Wow.
Being added in Animal Kingdom.
Okay. I would love that. That would be so cool.
But do we need another flume ride? I mean, we're just getting Tiana's, which is
think about
Splash
it. So
Mountain.
You're thinking about it from the perspective of somebody that goes to the park and does all four parks. That's actually not the norm. People actually pick and choose the parks that they can afford to go to, or let's say they're just into animals, and then of course usually they'll pick Magic Kingdom. So those might be the two parks they go to. So I don't know. We got to think about it from the park thought. Now we have Cali River Rapids over at Animal Kingdom, which is pretty popular. And the park itself is super duper hot. Like all the parks, but
you do feel like you're in an African savannah.
I could see it. There's more room for rides at this park for sure.
Yeah, it just feels like they could put up something like Flight of the Passage, where you're you're taking the vision of the lion and you're going through the Pride Lands, and you feels like you're riding on. I mean, there's so many different things that I feel like they could do with the technology that they have.
Sure. But technology rides take longer to create. I think flume rides for them are just let's prefab and plop down,
Again, just a rumor, nothing, nowhere official. These are more like a message board somewhere. So that's really all I could see.
I understand, but I like it. I hope that they come up with a ride. That would be cool. So, this movie, it's definitely a cult classic, right? Because it's the love, loss, redemption. These are all the themes that kind of rotate throughout. You're discovering your potential. And this makes everybody fall in love with these characters, especially the charming voices and the talent of the voices behind it, right? Was it Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
JTT.
JCT, right? All the girls loved him, and he did young Simba in this movie. He did an outstanding job.
Where is he now?
I don't know. I don't ask.
He might be like, serving you a burger at McDonald's for all we know.
Well, let's hope that he invested his money well, and he's not, and he's just enjoying family life. But you never know. I don't know. But of course, this is a really big father-son relationship between Simba and Mufasa, and how Mufasa died. And so for all the children, I even got a text message the other day, actually, from a mom who was watching this with her children. And she'd seen the movie, but her children, it was the first time. And they were 4 and 2. And so it was an emotional morning for them. Because the father dies like very tragically in this movie. So it's a lot. Yeah.
And then obviously the son runs away, or gets chased out or runs away, however you look at it. And but it's very emotional, right? And what that
incredibly emotional.
It's kind of like obviously that's the Disney way.
It is like a parent's always dying.
Yeah, I mean, but we just talked about Frozen last week, and the parents die
on a boat,
right? Obviously, Bambi. I mean, there's I'm sure countless others that I can't think of, but this one was tough. Do you remember how Heidi and Bailey took it when they?
So, I don't. It's been so long. I think during the live action one, we actually kind of left around that point, which is pretty early in the movie, but it was so real looking that they couldn't handle that. And I was like, well, I don't want to handle it either. So
have you ever seen?
We saw. Yeah, I've seen it.
You watched it full
afterwards. Yep. But yeah, that was a little bit too much for us. But within the movie, I think that they like everybody else, just shove it way deep down with all the other thoughts and emotions. And then became more obsessed with Nala, right? And their relationship. That's the new romance and focus on the relationship that comes up.
Right. When you think about it, Scar itself, right? Now you're like betrayed by your uncle. Like that's also like a kind of
that's so intense.
Yeah. It's a big it's a villain. Like he's a very good villain, but it's also like now it's a villain that's within your family. So what are you thinking, Disney?
Well, I mean, but again, this is what Disney does, right? They tug at your heartstrings and come up with the child or the center focus of it pulling through and figuring it out as they go.
They're definitely tugging.
So in any case, if you've ever been over to Art of Animation, they have amazing statues of all the Lion King characters. And they even have that's like a Finding Nemo playground. But yeah, you can get pictures with all the characters. It's really, really cool.
The big statues,
Yep. And they have the Lion King suites over there too, which we loved to stay in. That was fun. Anyways, they have a ton of treats over at Animal Kingdom celebrating this 30 years. Excuse me, I'll share a few with you. They've got the Simba mango flavored slushie with grenadine and gummy candies over at 8 Spoon Cafe. Isle of Java has Timon's luau, layers of vanilla chiffon cake, passion fruit curd, guava jam, vanilla chantilly cream, mint, and edible tropical flower. There's some things in there that I don't think I would enjoy, but it sounds cute.
I don't know. I want to see it. I want to eat it.
Tiffin's restaurant has something called the Rafiki Squash Banana Shake. I could see Heidi would really love that. And then the Remember Who You Are, the Lion King 30th anniversary dessert is also over at Tiffin's. They have other things like Zazu ice cream sandwich at Tamu Tamu Refreshments. Harambe Market has You Follow Old Rafiki cheesecake. That's a little passion fruit mango cheesecake with a coconut lime crust. That's cool. And so many others. I mean, these are so cute. I think of like gummy worms on top of slushy drinks, beautiful edible flowers, all sorts of things to kind of commemorate this really big deal. I think we're going to see, as you said, some of the characters come out a little bit more throughout the month, right? Timon
and
Pumbaa,
Rafiki, right?
Rafiki.
That was as reported in the Magical Minute.
That's right. That's right.
I only know that because I've watched it at least 18 times.
And you know what's funny? Like the Magical Minute, like we report the news, but we do it so quickly that as soon as we report it, we kind of like forget it. And then like rediscover it later in the week. And we're like, oh,
what was in it?
Oh, that's right. I think I remember saying that. So, yeah.
Hopefully
the
people watching aren't forgetting it as soon as it's over.
No, I think it's different when you watch it. You absorb it better. Just in my personal.
Fair enough.
But anyways, I mean, what an exciting time. I'm blown away that it's 30, but I'm also excited.
Dirty 30.
30, 30, 30.
Dirty 30.
No, we don't go dirty here. So what kind of news and events do you have other than that?
No, we got to cover, we got some, and I want to talk about lockers.
Oh, do you want to talk about lockers?
I want to talk about lockers.
We can talk about lockers. Listen, guys. So I've always toyed with, excuse me, how many times can we go to Disney in a year? I mean, I think about it a lot. We have a pretty easy flight over here.
The amount of times a flight like is just proposed to me via text or something.
Well,
they do have this.
And I just happen to know the pricing for everything. I mean, that's well researched. Thank you very much. So anyways, we can go an awful lot, and there's people that do go if you, let's say if you're a DVC member or, you know, you live close by, but not close enough. Let's say you live like in Georgia and it's like 5-6 hours away or something like that. Like you might want to consider an owner's locker. What's an owner's locker? Well, this is a really cool program. It allows you to store your vacation gear between visits, which means less packing, less hassle, and less hauling and less stress. So as I was like reading through this, I was kind of like, well, I mean, is it really all like worth it? I can't imagine what I would store that I would need, right? Because you don't necessarily want to store sunblock. It expires and you don't want to be wearing expired sunblock and things like that. But then the more I started to research on it, the more I understood what a good idea it would be. So you would get a container to store your personal items. So think about like a big plastic tub kind of container. And then the owner's locker, the people from the owner's locker, they're going to pick up the container from your resort when you check out, and they're going to store it in a climate controlled warehouse until you return. And then they're going to bring it back for you. So the storage bin itself, it's actually purple. It's kind of cute. Ooh. It's 13 by 22 bin with a lid, so you're going to put all your personal things in there. And so I was just thinking, and I wanted to compile a list, like what are some of the things that we always forget or have to buy at an astronomical price or would possibly need if we went there more often. And it would be things like laundry soap, right? We were just talking about this the other day, like because we're going to do some laundry there. We always forget, and then we end up buying those really expensive, crappy, like 1 or 2 packets that you can get in the laundry room. It's not worth it. So you could keep your laundry soap there. Ponchos and umbrellas. I think this is a really big deal because these things take up a lot of room in my backpack because I'm usually the one who carries a lot of the ponchos and stuff. So it takes up a lot of room in your suitcase. So if you can leave them in your locker and leave them there, it's less likely that you're going to forget them and things like that. Other things, an air mattress, sheets, and extra blankets. I was like, whoa, this just blew my mind. If you could have an air mattress there, like, do you know how much fighting that would like eliminate from our trip, right? Because, most of the time our kids have to share a bed and they are not sharers.
And
So
especially if you wanted to bring it to rope drop, you could be the first one.
I mean, we could just camp out there.
Mm-hmm.
Another one would be a water filter pitcher. I think that's a really great idea. We could kind of like a Brita.
Well, Florida has dirty water.
No, you know how sometimes you don't like the way things taste, and
it's full of crocodiles.
Kind of and you could also keep your reusable water bottles in this bin. Another thing would be shampoo and conditioner. Mm-hmm. I hate packing shampoo and conditioner because it inevitably something squeezes out somewhere, and then even if you're packing it in your little containers that are approved by it, then it's like wasteful no matter which way you look at it. Like it never works out. I don't know. And then you could do your first aid kit, right? You want to have Band-Aids and Neosporin and the Boo Boo Care On Clean. And then this one is one that we forget all the time.
Liquor.
Swim goggles. Goggles. I mean, liquor. You're funny. Swim goggles, we definitely forget a lot. Yes. And I think we had an issue last time where they really didn't have them in the...
they were hard to find, in the gift shop.
Yeah,
so we were looking. You figure that it would just be something like obviously Disney kind of pushes you to swim. There's... Every resort has a pool. Like, why aren't they just selling tons of swim goggles? Because they would sell. Because you forget them, but... There we go. So,
and then the other thing, we use different toothpaste than the kids, right? They have their specialty toothpaste that they love. It'd be cool if we could just leave some toothpaste behind and not worry about these kinds of things.
Well, I know where one place the kids do leave it is all over the sink because it's just caked on there constantly. So really, if you just want to go to our sink, you can find whatever toothpaste you need.
True. All that is true. But and you can store liquor in these bins too. That's true. So they have an online dashboard and you can manage your account info from there, schedule all your visits, create an online inventory of all the stuff in your locker, and track every movement of your locker from their warehouse to the resort and back. So just like getting your things delivered, like groceries and stuff, they'll deliver it right to the desk or the bellhop area, whatever you call it. And then you'll be able to get it from there. It's awesome. Some people even do things like bring their own coffee makers and stuff, just to...
Yeah, they want the luxuries that they have at home. They want to bring on...
Yeah, because if you think about it, when you're going on vacation and then you're like using like powdered creamer and things like that, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is not vacation. This is like camping. You want to feel like you're on vacation.
Abby makes me go and I have to... skulk around the resort and look for the right creamer and stuff.
Do I make you do that? No,
she's very picky about her coffee.
Anyways, I thought it was good. When I first started researching this, I was honestly like, why? And then I was like, totally totally into it now. And I'm like, look, we can go more. Look at the money we're saving, girl math, by spending on this stuff and just leaving it in this box. And then we can just show up and be like, hey, here we are.
It's all there. Daddy's on his air mattress back at home because they can't afford actual furniture.
ownerslocker.com, folks. That's where you can find the rest of the information on this. And we don't have a partnership or anything with them. It was just something I wanted to research, and I thought it was really cool.
Very cool.
There you go.
And so now that we've talked about owners' lockers, there's tons of lockers all over the Disney parks. And tie-in, here we go, segue. We're now talking about Community Core Plaza. Nope, that didn't work at all. I lost it. I was going somewhere. Doing? I'm sure there's a locker somewhere in Community Core Plaza.
Oh, there's lots of lockers throughout the park. Mostly at the park entrances, you'll find some lockers that you can rent for the day if you need to.
I didn't know what you were going for over there.
Oh, I'm just fidgeting with some paper clips and whatnot.
Oh.
So yeah. Hey, by the time this comes out, Communicore Plaza will be open, and I am excited to see the footage of all of that.
Yeah.
Communicore Plaza and Hall. So it's kind of an interesting thing to talk about, right? Because Communicore Plaza is going to be more of the outdoor space in the World Celebration neighborhood. So at this point, Epcot is going to be broken down into 4 neighborhoods: the World Showcase, World Celebration, World Nature, and World Discovery. So it's going to be the home base of festivals, right? And live events. So that's really cool.
Yeah. And now this is this is the end, or the completion of the construction at Epcot. Like there's been a lot, right?
It was like a nightmare to go there with all the walls. Ooh.
And they like refurbished a lot of the areas. Well, except I guess Test Track is still being worked on, but of the actual, like, so the beginning, they were trying to build out, right, everything after you walk past Spaceship Earth until you start getting to, the land pavilion and all that. I mean, there's Finding Nemo before that, but it was just kind of like, there's nothing to do here. So it was just kind of like everyone's scatter.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm really excited for it to open and see what they do. They don't have, my prediction of a festival coming this summer has been denied. So I will be the first to say my prediction was wrong, but this plaza is opening and you will get a fun Encanto show happening over there until
Celebration
September.
Encanto.
Yeah, and that's going to be really, really fun. But the festivals you will be able to enjoy here in the future would definitely be the Arts Festival, the Garden Festival will come back, Wine Festival, and the holidays, right?
And it's kind of like they're saying like it's going to somehow be the home base to all of this, right? It's not, obviously the festivals like kind of wrap around the entire World Showcase as well. Normally they go all the way around.
Absolutely.
The lake.
They're going to be found everywhere in Epcot.
But that's kind of like they're probably, I wonder if they're going to do anything to the Stage of the Americas.
I know. I've been wondering that a lot because this stage I think is quite bigger, right? It's going to host a lot
It's easier
more
to get to.
Yep. Easier to get to, right in the middle. But also, so Communicore Hall is going to host things like, this is the indoor area. And so let's say like during the Food and Wine Festival, they'll have like their demonstration kitchen and mixology bar over there, or even the Arts Festival, they'll have exhibition and gallery space. So it's going to transform everything in the hall throughout every festival. So very, very interesting. Very cool.
I wonder if they're going to bring back the cider. Over in Canada, they had that cider tasting thing, which I really enjoyed. Yeah, everyone else didn't kind of like it. Yeah, just like it was okay. I was like, I really liked it.
Well, I like to
it felt
do things
fancy.
you like, so it was good. Well, and then they're going to have the new Mickey and Friends meet and greet, right? It's a big sign outside for that, which I like. Easy to find. So
easy to find meet and
very
greets.
Cool. Very cool. I cannot wait to see the footage.
I don't like those meet and greets where you have to like hunt for it. You're like trying to figure out where it is.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's not that it was like super hard to find, but it was easy to miss before. So yeah. So here we go. New things.
It's stuff that is happening. One thing before people start writing us bad reviews that we're not good researchers, I completely forgot when I said, are they making another Lion King movie? There's one coming out in December. It's the Mufasa.
Oh, you're right.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
So sorry, I just completely
I forgot about that one too. So I think because, there are certain things in my mind where I'm like, that looks scary. We won't be seeing that with the kids. And then I forget about it, right? But maybe it won't be. Maybe it will be good.
Yeah, so they are... That is it's a sequel to the live action.
Okay, got it. That's where you got that.
Yeah, movie that's coming out, and so that's going to be. It's supposed to be like a prequel, and it says a sequel also to The Lion King. So I don't know. I'm guessing it's going to show some of Simba and still have him able to talk to Mufasa, but also showing the story of how Mufasa came to power.
Perfect.
Dealing with Scar and everything else. So that's something that comes out December 20th. So it's a good holiday experience for you. Go
Good old Disney hitting
see
up the
some
holidays.
lions attacking each other and things like that.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Any other news you got? News and updates?
Oh, we got some news. The overstaying in the Disney area. I mean, what the big thing that's going on, there's a preview right now. I guess, I don't know if it's all just influencers and travel specialists that are, but they're all at Lookout K.
Oh, yes, because it just opened, right?
Yeah, I think it's still previews.
Okay,
but maybe I'm wrong on that. But there's just a ton of talk. That's what's going on at Disney. Yep. That's like the main attraction. So that's over. Lookout K is in the Bahamas. It's the Lighthouse Point, and that's part of their new destination that you can go on a Disney Cruise Line, right? Yeah.
So looks good.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to be a great time. So there's a lot to cover. So I'm not gonna just describe what the Bahamas looks like to you.
Beautiful blue waters.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
Some
but if you are interested, reach out to Family Travel Planner or any of the travel specialists, and they get you more information.
That's right. We've got so many travel specialists these days. That's exciting.
So there's lots of things happening. If you're over in Magic Kingdom, you may see a familiar face with a hook.
Would it be Captain?
No, I'm just kidding. It's actually it's Captain Barbossa from
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, so he was seen walking around. Wait, does Captain Barbossa have a hook now that I say that? I thought he had a hook.
I think so. Is he interesting? I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, I can't remember. I have to go watch Pirates again. But anyway, so he was seen walking around the area over in oh man, I'm just having a day.
Magic Kingdom?
Yes.
And Fantasyland?
Fantasyland. So he was seen walking around here, and what a cast member said was that it was just a test for a preview for Mickey's Not So Scary.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I guess they're thinking about Barbossa, even though it's like he kind of became like, he was no longer the villain after the first movie.
His heart softened a lot.
And then he like kind of came and he was kind of like on Jack Sparrow. So anyway, he is in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, which he was added to when they kind of added that overlay in, and he's part of like the ship that is attacking the Spanish fort at the beginning of it, and you hear Jeffrey Rush's voice.
Yep.
So you might see him walking around.
Okay.
In addition, one of the things, and this is like, I love like kind of there's all these reporters or Disney influencers, Disney reporters that obviously live in Disney, and they notice all these kind of like minute changes to things, and all this stuff's down. And I don't get me wrong, I would love to be able to go to Disney that often that I could see all this stuff happening. But it's like in the Haunted Mansion, one of the light up like talking ghost busts that they have, one of them has been like not lit for a little while.
Okay.
And so no one knew why it was the way it was. Now it's lit again, but it's not. It looks different, and it's different because they're using the projection technology.
Oh, okay.
So it must have, like, the bust itself must have stopped working, and they just, I guess maybe it's easier to just project the face onto it.
Yeah, I could see that being.
Again, it's like one of those things where people just notice this stuff when you're going around the Disney parks, but it's just
so cool. Though.
Yeah,
like,
right.
like to have be like,
they're like going on the ride, like, wait a minute, that doesn't look right. You know, it's just something. Whereas if you only go once or twice a year, you probably wouldn't notice it, but because you're there that often,
absolutely, that's cool. I like it.
It's similar to the fact that there's also a report that, guess what, over in the TTC, the transportation. TCC, the Transportation
Technology Center, or is it Transportation? What we are doing terrible today.
Well, this happens when we don't have any drinks.
I know.
We kind of lose our mind.
It's Transportation and Ticket Center. What is wrong with us?
Over in the TTC, they have new trash cans. They're now.
That's what.
So going through all of that to get to the story. But they're now themed TTC trash cans at the TTC.
Ooh, what color are they? Oh, that's a terrible question for me to ask you.
Yes. They look like they're blue. Maybe they're themed as... Oh, Abby.
Yeah, they're royal blue with brighter blue edges. If you didn't know by now, Rob has a color deficiency and he cannot see these colors clearly. So, anyways.
I can see them. They just look different. Anyway, there's a lot of times where it's next to the green thing. Like, okay, where is that?
Yep.
When I ask her, is this poison ivy? Oh,
Well, it was so funny because one time with poison ivy, you said, well, isn't poison ivy green? Or you said something about the color of poison ivy being green. And I was kind of like, but everything's green out here. And you kind of like looked a little shocked. And I was like, yep.
Well, I know. Oh, boy.
Anyways, let's continue down the road.
Now it's just Rob doesn't know his outside colors. He's like, what is this? Anyway, I'm going to Rafiki's Planet Watch. Where everything's green. It's not green.
It's not green at all. Anyways, love you, baby. Love you.
Tiana's Bayou, right? This past week. So they had cast member previews going on.
Uh-huh.
And they had to shut down a little early one day.
Yeah.
And they're not exactly saying what happened, why they had to shut down. There was news and people were reporting that they were like in line waiting like hours for it to reopen.
Yeah.
Because the cast members kind of book these things and they don't know if they're going to get another chance until it opens. Anyway, so, there was that. There's no real talks, but they are expecting to resume the previews this week.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why they have these things. It's not just so the cast members could see it, so that they could work out the kinks.
So, but it is hard because we got reports that they weren't like redoing cast member previews. They were just going to kind of continue on with their plans. Yes. So there are a couple of cast members that lost out on their opportunity. But
guess what? They're cast members. They get free access to the parks. They'll get there eventually.
But they're also working a ton, so it's...
They are, but there's still time. There's still time, cast members. Now, it's not like the same as like when we go and we can't get there, then we'll be bummed because we don't, our kids aren't going to come back this year.
Uh-huh.
Probably not. We don't know. But anyway, so they're just adding the finishing touches to Tiano's and they're kind of adding all these little things and sprucing it up and getting it ready. So it's almost there.
Almost there.
So we talked about the bust. We talked about Barbosa, Haunted Mansion. There's treats everywhere. Epcot, they got the Pride mural back for Pride Month.
Oh, I love it.
So that's nice, and you'll start to see those. They have we took a great picture in front of that love.
That's right. That was our Christmas Kingdom card.
That was a good one. So now we're gotten back over to our friends at Universal.
Universal.
Yes, Universal. Did you know that Universal is known to be silent?
At night.
At night. You know why? Because there's monsters in the park. Or at least there will be at Halloween Horror Nights, because they just announced that there will be a Quiet Place haunted house.
That's cool.
At the Universal's Halloween Horror Nights. So that's going to be out there. They have a pretty cool preview on their YouTube that they did. The effects on it aren't that great, but it's a very atmospheric, and it's two people in like a laundromat, and one of them's hearing impaired, and so things go from there. Check it out if you like. If you haven't seen any of the Quiet Place movies, there's two of them. There's a third one, which is a prequel coming out this summer that me and Abby are excited, or Abby and I are excited to see.
Yes, I'm so excited.
We are looking forward to it. Now, in our never-ending... I've been covering it. We've been talking about it. It seems like it's almost here, but it's another week of kind of hints and teasers. Interactive wands at Harry Potter.
Oh, is it here?
No, almost. So,
okay.
If you go over to the Universal Studios store at City Walk in Orlando, there is they have sections of the different properties that they have that Universal owns. Harry Potter being one of them. So you get all the Harry Potter paraphernalia and stuff. And there was a section, there was like a display stand of wands that were existing, the same wands that you could find in Ollivanders and so on and so forth throughout the parks. But there was a display case and it displayed all the wands. This display case now has a tapestry in front of it. Which it's like a picture of a painting that's like shown in Gryffindor in the movies, and it's now covering the display case. So you're like, why else are they you can't see that anymore? Why else are they not showing that?
Okay.
Unless they're getting ready to unveil something. So it's just like, we know that there's been new technology. We know that they've been adding cameras and different things, so on and so forth. This is just another hint along the way that we're getting new wands.
Yes.
But that also means that we've also paid a lot of money for the old ones. We'll have to get new ones when we go again because we have to test it out.
Okay.
I guess so, but you can get supposedly the old wands will still work on the new technology that they're putting in.
Okay.
Just might not be as, I don't know. I can't say, but you could get the old wands at a good discount right now. They just keep putting more and more on for sale. Okay.
I mean, it's going to be, Universal has so much coming that I think it's going to be a new experience, a new park. So I'm really looking forward to visiting again sometime in the future.
I am looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to talking to all you guys again next week.
So if you have some time, please go online and give us a nice little 5-star rating. We would love that.
We would love it.
But otherwise, Pottineers, we hope you have a fantastic week and we'll talk next week. Bye-bye.